Hello there. This is John Brennan, After Dark. I want everyone to know that I'm dating a lady named Huma. Huma. She was somebody else's girl, now she went with the real D. Thank you so much for watching HA After Dark. And I just want to explain a little something about the CIA. Ever wonder why CIA agent names were on Hillary Clinton's computer? Yet nothing was done? Well, I'll tell you why. Because I was at the helm. I was at the helm of the Titanic, if you will. Now there's Gina Haspel. Different ballgame. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It is the middle of the night. Comey is, I guess, nobody's homie at this point. Everyone doesn't like Comey. Comey used to be my homie. Now he's nobody's homie. But thank you so much for watching. We have 44 people, 45 people within a minute here. And I will try to be on as long as I can. If my son comes in the room, I'm going to have to leave. But if for some reason I'm abruptly stopped, I will do another live stream in the middle of the night. But Peter Strzok is going to subpoena. Peter Strzok is going to testify before Congress. So for people who enjoy my channel without the live stream, I will get to. Oh, thank you, Blue Seas. Thank you from New Zealand. Thank you so much, Blue Seas. I want to thank all the people in the live chat. I mean, the super chat, because you make these live streams possible. You really do. Otherwise, I would just be yelling into my computer, call me, Clinton, call me, Clinton, and then uploading. But you make all this possible, and I want to thank you very much. So basically, Strzok is gone. So let's go ahead and recap. Strzok getting escorted out of the FBI building was fantastic. He's being investigated. Comey is being investigated. Andrew McCabe is still being investigated. He was fired. Lisa Page was kicked out. You had, what's his name? Rybicki, the chief of staff for Comey. He's no longer there. Then you have 5 FBI agents who are being investigated right now. So that's 10 people in the FBI. 10 people. So I'll try to go ahead and put as much information as possible within the first half hour of this for people who just, don't want to listen for an hour or so. But you have 10 people. Let's count them right now. So Peter Strzok's going to testify. Strzok stated that he's going to stop Trump, that all Trump voters are smelly and they shop at Walmart, yet he was at a Walmart. So the hilarious thing, he was like, honey, Paige, my dear, I was at a Walmart today and I smelled all these Trumpsters, but he was at the Walmart. So it makes no sense. Anyway, you have Peter Strzok, who's going to testify before Congress, whether it's a subpoena. So Bob Goodlatte, this is a political article. Goodlatte moves to subpoena FBI agent accused of anti-Trump bias. The action comes on the heels of a critical Justice Department Inspector General report. So the IG, this is even before the IG report, but today Bob Goodlatte confirmed with Trey Gowdy on Fox, and he said, "Look, we're going to subpoena this guy." So it really doesn't matter whether he comes voluntarily or not voluntarily. The whole thing was, he's going to come to his own free will. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte started the clock Friday on a procedure to subpoena Peter Strzok, the FBI agent accused of an internal Justice Department watchdog of harboring intense bias against President Donald Trump. Now, understand something. This is really important. This is not just about bias. This is about pure hatred. This is about pure and unadulterated hatred. Don Drysdale, yes. Yes. For some reason, my camera sometimes gets is messed up, but he was a lefty, of course. No, I didn't say I didn't say that. But we have 114 people. We have 114 people on this live stream. In 5 minutes, 118. If you want to go ahead, text everybody. Let everybody on Facebook know this is taking place. So let's just recap before we start, because it's important to see it's important to kind of see to see what's taking place in terms of draining the swamp or whatever, however you want to describe it. Okay. Because this needs to happen before indictments or anything else. Number one, you have Peter Strzok, the guy in charge of both the Clinton email and Russia investigation. The Russia investigation was nonsense, completely bogus. It was only an investigation to try to make Clinton's actual crimes morally relative. There was no Russia investigation. The DNC never gave its servers to the U.S. government. They've almost certainly actually, they what? Yeah, they erased those servers, and they outsourced a company that was chosen by the DNC. So, okay, there was no hack, and if there was a hack, they provided no evidence. And BuzzFeed is suing the DNC. The NSA is only moderately confident, and the CIA and FBI were highly confident. They were not certain. James Clapper told Chuck Todd, there's no evidence, and if you ask me again, I'm going to hurt you. There's no evidence of Trump-Russia collusion. We didn't put any evidence within the reports. That's a very famous segment. So, to just recap, well, thank you. Thank you. Adriana Gates, thank you so much. I love you too. Thank you. I love all you guys are amazing. So Adriana Gates, thank you very, very, very much. Very much. King Dynamics. Thank you very much, King Dynamics. Thank you, Adriana. Thank you, King Dynamics. Thank you, Blue Seas. But the interesting thing here, let's just recap. Let's do a quick recap, okay? Quick recap. You have Peter Strzok, totally obliterated by his own words. Okay, Peter Strzok, he's testifying now. Lisa Page, his lover, she's gone from the FBI. Comey is not anyone's homie anymore. Democrats hate him. So he was like, let me quote from the Bible. They're like, we don't want to hear from you anymore. So you have Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, no longer at the FBI. You have James Comey, fired. You have Andrew McCabe, fired. And he's as a criminal referral. Let's just add in, if you want, that guy Ribicki, the chief of staff for Comey, no longer there. 5 people. 5 people, no longer there. Okay? So you have 5 people no longer there. Add 5 FBI agents. Add 5 FBI agents who are being probed now. There's FBI 2, FBI 1, FBI 3.5. Could you imagine, like Sessions talking about these FBI numbers? Because they're numbered. They're numbered. They're redacted. They shouldn't even be redacted. They're all lawyers. Thank you again, Adriana. But they shouldn't even be redacted. But they're like, and so their names are FBI 1, FBI 2. So could you imagine, like, hello, Mr. President, how are you? Good. Well, let me tell you something. We found out from FBI 3.5. Yes, I know. We're talking Island of Dr. Moreau here. I don't know. Is FBI 1, FBI 2? An FBI 3.5. I don't even want to see this person. I have no idea what he looks like. 3.5 and 4.75. These people are freaks. Freaks of the industry. Okay, I'll let you go. All right, thanks so much. Yes, Bruce Orr is demoted or no longer at the DOJ. His wife is already outed as a somebody who worked for Glenn Simpson at Fusion GPS. So you have a total of 10 FBI agents. Then you have a couple people at the DOJ already gone. That's 12. So it's important to understand something. 12 people thus far, but not only 12. Let's see. There are more people. There are more people. Because Christopher Steele, then there's Joseph Mifsud, who was the professor, not the professor from Gilligan's Island, but the professor who was supposed to have been this, oh my God, this conduit between Papadopoulos and the Russians. He has ties to British intelligence. Okay. So you have 12 people already, 10 people already gone or investigated, either fired from the FBI or being investigated currently. You have one professor who's completely shady, who's nowhere to be found. You have Christopher Steele, who was in hiding and then just came out of hiding. He's facing lawsuits. Glenn Simpson of Fusion GP's facing major lawsuits. BuzzFeed's facing major lawsuits. So tell me how this is. Good night, Russian colluder. Good night. I appreciate everybody watching. Oh, Lord. Let's see. I might have to go right now, actually. No, I don't think so. Okay. Thank you again, Adriana. All right, let's continue. So you have 10 people either fired or being investigated. Then you have Bruce Snelly, or that's 12. Then you have Fusion GPS, Glenn Simpson, 13. Christopher Steele, 14. And then 15, Mifsud, the professor. And then, let's not talk about Cody Shear and Sidney Blumenthal, 17, who worked on the Steele dossier. Then you have the FISA judges. They're going to get into the mix somehow. You have all these people who, then you have Clapper. So you have close to 20 people. You have close to 20 people who have been outed or exposed, fired, or investigated. So it's not bad when you think about it. When people are like, oh, there's nothing going on. It's just going to be the same thing over again. There's 20 people right now who have been exposed. I mean, we've been vindicated. You and I have been vindicated already, and it's just public record. Like I only work with public record, and the knock on me is like, oh, you read from sources. Yeah, I read from sources. What do you want? Oh yes, Sean, my man.
Place a little later, a lot later. If you're up this evening. Watch HA After Dark.
Yeah. Hold on one second. This is fantastic. Thank you, Sean.
Buddy, HA After Dark will take place a little later. A lot later. If you're up this evening, watch HA After Dark.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Sean, for that. That's awesome. That's actually my ringtone now. I have to make it my ringtone. But let's go ahead really quickly. No, I don't want to update my computer. Hate the stupid updates. Okay, so Trey Gowdy. He's back to normal. He's not. His Twitter feed isn't meant for. Jim Jordan's Twitter feed is all hardcore. Like, okay, so Jim Jordan, he's a congressman who ripped Horowitz a new one today. Jim Jordan lays it out clearly. Peter Strzok, the guy who ran the Clinton investigation and led the investigation as the Trump campaign hates Donald Trump. His bias showed all over the IG report. How is this allowed? How does Strzok still have a job at the FBI? Well, technically, he has a job, but it's not really going to be. He's not going to be employed for long. So he's already kicked out of the FBI building. When the Salacious Steele dossier was taken to the secret FISA court, the FBI didn't tell the court that Hillary and the DNC paid for it and that the Steele had been fired from the FBI. We got to see many Strzok page texts over the past several months. We didn't get to see the most important, we'll stop Trump. So that's an important aspect also. A really important aspect is this. A really important aspect is that the "Will Stop Trump" text was withheld from Congress. Also, we don't even have all the texts from Strzok and Page. Also, the IG report shows that Peter Strzok not only hated Trump, but that his actions were tied to hating Trump. And whenever anyone says, "Well, the IG report already stated," that there was no bias. No, the IG report doesn't state that. Horowitz specifically said no bias among the prosecutors. The agents give the prosecutors evidence. If the agents are biased, or if they have extreme hatred, so you're talking about 7 total, Page, Strzok, and 5 others. That's 7 people. You're talking about lawyers. You're talking about people who speak with Comey and McCabe, who were tasked with the responsibility of finding out if Clinton did something actually illegal, which she did, transferring top secret intelligence from Cybernet, JWICs, and SCIFs and other locations. That is the original sin. That's what will eventually indict Clinton, or will eventually push, in terms of political will, for her to be indicted. There's other crimes that she's committed. Campaign finance laws. The DNC, this is in Politico, the DNC funneled, $60 million from down-ticket Democrats into her campaign. Correct the Record was an extension of her campaign. That's what campaign watchdogs were saying. And then she funneled money through her law firm to pay for, and this is a fact, the Washington Post reported this, she funneled money into her law firm to pay for both the Steele dossier and CrowdStrike. So, it's then the Clinton Foundation, you have Haiti, $10 billion. The people of Haiti are owed $10 billion. What if somebody owed you $1,000? You'd be like, hey, where's my grand? Where's my $1,000? The people of Haiti are owed $10 billion. They raised $10 billion. And the way they do it, when people say, well, they didn't steal the money. Yes, they did. Because when they get, let's say, Boeing to give to Haiti, that's part of an overall deal where Boeing then gives more money to the Clinton Foundation for other programs they have. It's a gigantic networking money laundering scheme. If you're a corporation and you're beholden to the Clintons for some reason, you're not only going to, maybe Haiti might be your first entry into the Clinton Foundation, but then there's other opportunities for Clintons to siphon money through their foundation. So that's another big issue. It's just a matter of, well, that's the thing. It's HA after dark. Who knows when I'm going to do it? It could be 2:45 a.m. It could be, 5 in the morning. I'm not sure. 12 at night. Well, it's 12:45 Pacific. Jennifer Stewart. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate that. And I never dropped this because this is the biggest scandal of our generation. Political scandal. It's the biggest political scandal. So thank you, Jennifer Stewart. Let's Let's go ahead. So Peter Strzok has been kicked out of the FBI building. They're investigating him right now. They're investigating Comey, by the way. Do you know about this? Thank you in Germany watching. Thank you everywhere you're watching. England, Scotland, Germany, Alabama. Thank you. Auckland. Comey's being investigated for his queasy memos. Comey memos. Okay. Justice Department IG investigating Comey memos after FBI referral. DOJ watchdog probing Comey memos will release another report. So, I mean, he already has 4 out of 7 that are classified according to Bob Goodlatte. They had to read his memos in a skiff. So 4 of the 7 were classified. The Department of Justice Inspector General is investigating former FBI director's handling of memos he wrote to memorialize his conversations with President Trump. This is the whole point of memorializing. It's a stupid. I mean, the semantics. It's just so stupid. No one memorializes notes of gossip. No one says, "Here's a cocktail napkin. I memorialized something." Comey's notes are as memorialized as toilet paper after it's been used. Sorry to get too graphic, but that's pretty much. James Comey did not memorialize anything. What he did is engage in illegal activity. He's being investigated right now. Thank you, Scotland. Thank you for watching. There's 274 people here. And tell your friends about H.A. Goodman. Subscribe to this channel, please. We're growing. We're growing. Every day we're growing now. These live streams have been fantastic. I really enjoy the interaction, and it's fun. Especially since we're all dealing with the same thing. The media is completely clueless regarding the severity of all of this. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I think that the fact that the CIA now is beholden to Trump, that's a big thing. If you look at John Brennan's role in this is really, really important. So, newly revealed Strzok text messages raise questions about John Brennan, Harry Reid, Dennis McDonough. So, Strzok is all over the place. He is just spilling the beans on everybody. This is I'll tweet this out right here. I'll go ahead and put this in the live chat. And I think that the fact that nobody's talking about, I'm not saying that she's, the person I think should run the CIA. What I'm saying is I would have picked a different person. Newly revealed Strzok text messages raise questions about John Brennan. So we got 23 minutes here, 291 people watching. So Comey's being investigated, but if you look at Dan Bongino, who is absolutely brilliant, has stated that John Brennan is the ringleader or the mastermind of all of this. Comey is not, he's very conniving, but he's probably not as wicked in terms of intelligence as Brennan. Nobody's as wicked as I am. Republican congressional investigators say it's possible high-ranking officials in the U.S. government under the Obama administration and former Senate Democratic leadership coordinated together in the early days of the federal investigation into Russian interference. They also need to subpoena Harry Reid. Newly exchanged text messages exchanged between FBI Peter Strzok and Lisa Page strongly suggest there was an effort of coordination. Names brought up in the report include former President Barack Obama's chief of staff, Dennis McDonough, former Senate Democratic leader Harry Reid, and former CIA Director John Brennan. The investigators argue this would contradict what Obama administration has publicly maintained. Well, of course. concerning their role in the investigation, which is seeking to determine if the Trump campaign colluded with a bunch of baloney. So, but John Brennan met with Harry Reid. This is a Daily Caller article. Congressional investigators trying to get to the bottom of Brennan's role in Russia investigation. It's important that we know why Harry Reid met with John Brennan. According to Paul Sperry, he also went to London. But let's go ahead and met with. Okay, so this is hilarious. This is the New York Times. And the hilarious thing about the New York Times is that it's a great publication of record when they don't realize that they're undermining future propaganda. So had they known that this would be really detrimental. Oh, wow. Thank you, cruise control. Thank you, cruise control. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, cruise control. That's you guys are awesome. Thank you. Why would, and think about this for a moment, why would John Brennan not go to his boss, Obama? President Obama was Brennan's boss. Harry Reid wasn't his boss. Harry Reid has nothing to do with Brennan. Harry Reid's a senator, has nothing to do with Brennan. And Brennan had no reason to contact Harry Reid. Was completely powerless. CIA had evidence of Russian effort to help Trump earlier than believed. Okay. Yeah. No, they didn't. They're highly confident, and there's no evidence there. We haven't been given any evidence. What names, suspects, money, transfer, somebody, anybody, nothing. The CIA told senior lawmakers in classified briefings last summer that it had information indicating, and see, look at the wording is fantastic, indicating that Russia was working to help elect President Donald Trump. Not information proving, not information directly linking, not evidence. It's information indicating. I can say that I have information indicating my neighbor is a Martian, an alien life form. I didn't say my neighbor was an alien life form. I didn't say that. I didn't say he is, some kind ET phone home. He is an extraterrestrial. I said there's information indicating that he is, or that he could be. The way they hide behind semantics is just insidious. The CIA told lawmakers in classified briefings last summer that it had information indicating, oh good, that Russia was working to help elect Donald J. Trump. Why? They already got 20% of U.S. uranium capacity, and they shipped out yellow cake uranium while President Obama was president. That's in the New York Times, same article I'm reading now. Here's the New York Times. I just go by published reports. Thank you again, cruise control. 344 people. That's right. That's right. So, why? The question is, why didn't they go to Obama? Because Obama didn't want anything to do with direct contact. Because Obama was on CNN stating that it's impossible for anyone to rig an election, much less a foreign government. This was when President Trump, then candidate Trump, was saying, you know what, I'm not going to stand if there's cheating. I'm not going to stand for it. And then President Obama said, well, come on. There's no way anyone can rig an election. There's no way. It's impossible. Oh, Russians. Now, here's the issue. This is a really, really, and this is why I say the fact that John Brennan is no longer there. The fact that Gina Haspel now is beholden to Trump. I'm just tired. If I look tired, I'm just really tired. But that's, it's late at night. But thank you for your consideration. I appreciate the kind words. In an August 25th briefing for Harry Reid, then top Democrat in the Senate, Mr. Brennan indicated that Russia's hacking appeared aimed at helping Mr. Trump win a November election. Okay. In an August briefing for Mr. Reid, Harry Reid, two former officials said Mr. Brennan indicated that the CIA focused on foreign intelligence, was limited in its legal ability to investigate possible The CIA was limited in its legal ability to investigate possible connections to Mr. Trump. Would you like to know what John Brennan did? Talking about limited in legal ability, he spied on the Senate regarding an investigation into his torture program. So I don't think he gives a hoot, to quote Comey, on legal roadblocks. The officials said Mr. Brennan told Mr. Reid that the FBI in charge of domestic intelligence would have to lead the way. So this is really... Now we're getting to the bottom of this, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting good. It's getting real good. It's getting really, really good. And I'll tell you why. The CIA knew that Strzok would be the fall guy. I have the best. Speaking of my AK-47, go ahead. I have a special Father's Day episode, so check it out. Check it out. HA's Second Amendment. It's with my AK-47, California legal, fully compliant with YouTube policies. Check that out. It's below in the pinned comment. HA's Second Amendment. Sorry, in the well, it'll be in the pinned comment, but it's below also in the description section. But the official, I just sent. I just put this in the chat. The official said Mr. Brennan told Mr. Reid that the FBI in charge of domestic intelligence would have to lead the way. First of all, that's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that they didn't meet with President Obama. It's not Harry Reid had no business at that point doing anything. Harry Reid was powerless to do anything. He was a senator. He was a Senate minority leader at the time. And he couldn't do anything. So he was powerless to do anything. John Brennan knew that, but he couldn't go to President Obama, because had he gone to President Obama, he'd be implicated. Obama would be implicated. Nice. Yeah, we have 10 round limits, if you can believe that, here, California. We only have 10 round magazines. So I bought more magazines. So I have 4 magazines, AK mag. So I'm going to buy more. 10 rounds. It's like when what's his name, Bloomberg in New York said, big gulps are bad. Big gulps, very bad. Big gulps. You can't have a big gulp. So people would just buy 2. If you tell me I can't have a gigantic Coke, I'll buy 2 large Cokes. So stupid. Anyway. Oh, 50 cal is awesome. Actually, I'm going to be trying out an AR. My next segment will be uploaded. It's of Darren at Oak Tree, who is he dismantles my AK-47 and then puts it back together. So it's pretty cool. You'll get to, if you own an AK-47, you'll get to dust cover and then bolt and then everything else. And then he reassembles it. And then the segment after that will be, I believe I was. Well, I guess I can upload. I was shooting a 357. I haven't uploaded that, and then but I'll be trying ARs because they you can rent rifles at the range. So, but anyway, so we have the situation here where where John Brennan started everything, and where the CIA, in many ways, even outside, getting all these Democratic senators, trying to convince them that the Russians were interfering in the election. Harry Reid was the ringmaster or whatever. The start of, I mean, sorry, Brennan was the start of all of this. The CIA was the start of all of this. Brennan hates Trump. Haspel owes her most important position she's ever had, what she's worked since 1985 to achieve, to Trump. You go from hatred to admiration / being beholden to somebody. This is, I mean, I wouldn't have picked her because of the whole torture issue under Bush. Okay, again, I would not have picked her because of the torture issue. But you have a female CIA officer, official, who has been at the CIA since 1985. Okay, 1985. All right. And Trump comes into office and he picks her. All right, so let's just go ahead really quickly. Peter Strzok had a choice. Thank you, Sean. Peter Strzok had a choice, and he obviously chose to. Focus attention on the Russia investigation. Oh, thank you, Lennon McCarthy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you always for your support. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead. Oh, that's funny. There's there's Queen. The whole like Queen setup. That's so hilarious. Okay. Oh boy. Let's try Devin Nunes. You have people in the Republican Party. We're getting close. Devin Nunes' impeachment is on the road for Rod Rosenstein. Yes. So that's another thing. They know that Rosenstein is grab the popcorn. Wow, Devin Nunes says grab the popcorn. Can anyone tell me who the DOJ lawyer is that speaks French via text in the IG report? So the DOJ, one of the DOJ lawyers is a DOJ lawyer, okay, says Vive la résistance. Like, long live the resistance. It's, first of all, the resistance is so stupid. If you wanted to go ahead and put a name or, name a movement, resist is a stupid thing. You want to take initiative. You don't want to resist. No, Trump, don't hurt me. You don't want to do that. You want to take the initiative. So that was a stupid thing to begin with, but we're getting close. Says impeachment for Rosenstein's on the table. So just okay, so let's see. They're trying to find out who the lawyer who talked about the resistance is, which is hilarious because not only do you have Strzok and Page and 5 other people, but if you have an FBI agent with the same amount of animus and hatred towards Trump, how many Strzok's are there? You have the Mueller probe is done. The Mueller probe has turned into this saintly, holier than thou, because it's the only thing they have. Democrats know they can't defeat Trump. They know they have nobody in the Democratic Party. It's their only lifeline, their only hope, which is why I really think that he should just fire Mueller. There's no evidence of Trump Russia. He should fire Rosenstein, fire Mueller, do whatever he has to do in terms of bureaucratic. Go ahead and tweet out Trump's texts every day, 3 times a day, and then FBI agent 2 and 2.5 and 3.57, whatever. Because it's not just Strzok. There's others who hated Trump. Just tweet out all their hate-filled messages. Tweet out the fact that one Mueller lawyer represented the Clinton Foundation. Did you know that? One Mueller lawyer, one of the 13, represented the Clinton Foundation. And then another one gave tens of thousands. So it's like completely ridiculous. Thank you. Thank you for everyone's kind words. I do have the best live chat comment section. So you have Strzok, who's already done, and he's going to testify before Congress. And I'm telling you what he's going to do. He's going to say, I did this for you. He's going to say, I suffered for you. Strzok's going to be like this. I suffered for you. You have no idea what I went through. I suffered for you. And it was because Trump was working with Russia. And no, I didn't hate Trump. That's what he's going to say. I didn't hate Trump. No. Oh, well, the people at Walmart, and he's going to say, I have family who are Trump supporters. I love them. I love all Americans. He's going to go ahead and try to put a human face, or he just will plead the fifth. Whatever. Right now, it's not a good situation for Strzok because it's like, what do you do? He's being judged by millions of people by his own thoughts and words. And he's not going to get out of it. We know he hates Trump. But one thing about America is that we are, we do give people second chances. And if someone acts human, we kind of like maybe are more willing to accept. So with Hillary, it's like, I eat hot sauce. I shimmy. Look at me. I'm human like you. It was like, what was her name? One of the Republican candidates, I forgot her name. She was like, I'm not a witch. It was like, she had a commercial. Like, I'm just a normal person, whatever. But she actually had that commercial. I forgot her name. But once you go ahead and your inner thoughts, your innermost thoughts are exposed, then you have to go ahead and you can either plead the fifth or you can go into damage control. And I think Strzok is probably, because his lawyers are like, he's a victim, and that just got Trey Gowdy upset. That just got Trey Gowdy and Goodlatte upset. But let's go ahead and read this. We're getting close. Nunes says impeachment is on the table for Rod Rosenstein. And this is the thing with Rod Rosenstein. So he's supposed to give documents. If he doesn't want to get impeached by Congress, then just give the documents. What is he waiting for? These aren't his documents. He works for the government. It's not like he owns them. You can't have them. Congress wants the documents. And if you're stonewalling, you're going to just get it in terms of bureaucracy. House Intelligence Committee Devin Nunes said Sunday that there will be hell to pay. Hello. Including impeachment for top Justice Department officials if the agency fails this week to give Congress documents about an FBI informant used to spy on the Trump campaign. So again, it's like these people have, like, Democrats have no shame. They're like, it's not an informant. No, it's not a spy. It was an informant. It was to help Trump. Don't you know it was to help Trump? And so let's go. We can't force the resignation, but we can hold in contempt. We can pass resolutions. We can impeach. I think we're getting close to there. Nunes has battled Rosenstein for months over other documents related to Russian investigation. So they're just stonewalling everything. And one way to fire Mueller is to fire Rosenstein. So that's another issue. They're deathly afraid. They're just so afraid of what takes place. And I just say call their bluff. That's awesome. I just say call their bluff. Because when you fire Mueller, it's going to be an epic poop storm for about 3 days. Democratic-driven media has a 3-day outrage period. That's it. We have 407 people, 408 people, by the way. And I want to thank everyone for watching. But there's still another report on whether there's actually 2 other reports coming. One is on Comey, and one is on the FBI agents, who are probably just as bad or worse than Trump. I mean, than Strzok. And actually, one says, long live the resistance. So, I mean, like, what do you... was a DOJ, sorry. Well, what are you doing here? Like, what are people doing? Like, it's so overt. That's the thing. It's so overt. They don't even try. And they're using government issued phones. How stupid do you have to be? How stupid do you have to be to go ahead and you're using government issued phones? You don't think the government can turn on you? I mean, you're an employee. You're an employee. What comes after Hillary? Well, once Hillary's indicted, she'll probably run for president. They don't care. They'll vote for her in a jail cell. You're talking about brainwashed people, so brainwashed. They don't even see a criminal. Okay, they think Trump is a criminal. They think Trump is a liar. Whatever he's lied about, it's not surviving Bosnian sniper fire. She literally said, I survived Bosnian sniper fire, and the video shows children giving flowers. So then you have the issue of her transferring top secret and special access program intelligence. That's what this is all about. And the interesting thing also is that the IG report never really talked about her server configuration or setup or how she set up the server. Because the FBI didn't care. That's the problem. That's what's going to take down the whole edifice of this craziness. But let's go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and Lindsey Graham, he's a good one. Nice. I'm not buying the Clinton email investigation was on the up and up. And the reason I'm not buying it is because the 2 people intimately involved, one lead investigator, clearly did not want to see Donald Trump become president. So he knows what's going on. So Lindsey Graham knows what's going on. Lindsey Graham is not messing around.
The FBI might create a decision who make.
So Lindsey Graham knows that his future is tied to President Trump. Establishment Republicans know that their futures are tied to President Trump. So they're not going to get away. They're not going to get away with just simply being like, well, let's have the Russia investigation, because now it's going to influence the Russia probe is going to influence their chances. And Republicans are still going to, let's just see the polls really quickly before we get to Lindsey Graham. So midterm polls. All right. Oh, Lord. Midterm Congress polls real clear. All right, let's see this. Stupid. 7 points. Whatever. It's not 7 points. That's it. These people are so clueless. It was 3 points, and then literally, okay, this is how the insanity of this public relations stuff works. Before Trump signed an historic deal with Kim Jong-un, before he actually presided over peace between, hopefully, future peace, or at least the beginning of peace between North and South Korea. Before that, the polls were at 3. Then suddenly it jumped to 7, immediately ahead of an historic peace moment. So tell me again how voters don't want peace deals. It's ridiculous. And then Republicans, maybe it was like, oh, well, the primaries, Republicans did better than expected in the primaries, even in California, which is like a liberal bastion. So tell me again how these polls suddenly go from 3 to 7 average. And just like I saw this in 2015, the polls were dwindling down for Clinton. And since Clinton controls the Democratic Party, they'll continue to dwindle down again. I mean, it's like, what? Democrats are not going to win back the House. They have zero political momentum, 0. And they can go ahead and talk about immigration, but Obama actually, in the New York Times and New York Magazine, actually gave children to human traffickers. This is the New York Times. This is a New York Magazine article that's in the description section. I quote reputable sources. That was the Obama administration. So I disagree. Yeah, I want Trump to unilaterally. I would love for Trump to unilaterally fix that. But if he's not, Democrats have to play ball, and they have to just go ahead, give him what he wants, and get what they want. But they don't want to do that. They'd rather just dangle it and, oh my God, look what's happening. Well, they're not doing anything about it. Well, we have this one bill that they don't even have the House. He wants the wall. So work with him. Give him the wall. You'll get what you want. You'll give dreamers citizenship for dreamers. You'll protect children. He'll keep them with their parents, which should happen. So I do agree that Trump should unilaterally fix that right away. But it's better than what Obama did. It's horrendous now, but it's better than what Obama did. Just sending them back into the desert. It's like a biblical thing. These people go through the desert with narcos and they risk rape and all these things. It's like really dangerous. And Obama's like, nah, you got to go back. So, and this was all during President Obama's administration too. Let's hear Lindsay.
Not to prosecute the FBI. Mike Crapo asked a very brilliant question. If you believe the FBI's judgment was clouded, which they found, but the decision not to prosecute, you can't prove that was a result of bias. The Department of Justice didn't make that decision. Comey did. So what did we learn today? We learned today that the head investigator of the Clinton email investigation hated Trump's guts, told his friend, Miss Page, who was an attorney for the Department of Justice, on August the 8th, don't worry, he'll never be president. We'll stop that. They changed the memo that Comey read to the country on July the 5th. They took the word grossly negligent.
Oh, Lord. What did I do?
Not to prosecute the FBI. Might out and put extremely careless. I always want.
So that's the thing. Strzok put he just changed gross negligence. Thank you, CJ Ackerman. Thank you, everybody. That's the thing. He changed gross negligence to extremely careless. He knew very well. That's where hate Trump comes in. He knew that she could be prosecuted under that because it's literally the statute, U.S. Code 793F. But he was like, oh, okay. So that's obviously a decision that was altered.
Wondered why. Grossly negligent is a legal term that would make you subject to 10 years in prison for grossly negligently handling classified information. So on August the 8th, this new email tells us all we need to know, that Strzok was intending to stop Trump. How can you stop Trump if you hold her criminally responsible. The reason they changed that word is they would have to indict Clinton if they did not change the term. So we learned a lot today. And we also learned that the number 2 at the FBI, according to Strzok and Page, set in on a meeting in August to try to find a way to cook or change the outcome of the election. That's J. Edgar Hoover stuff. Imagine the number 2 guy at the FBI has a meeting
Andrew
with
McCabe,
a lead investigator. And the bottom line is the whole idea of the meeting was to find an insurance policy to protect the country against Trump winning. That is what J. Edgar Hoover did.
So it's game over. It's game over. It's game over because you also have the CIA. You also have the CIA beholden to Trump. You have the CIA beholden to Trump because of Gina Haspel. When I say beholden, at least they're not a threat the way they were with Brennan, at least. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached a climax in HA's Second Amendment. We have 429 people, and I appreciate that. 431. We've been at this for 56 minutes now. Let's go ahead and we'll wrap it up. Get some rest. Thank you so much for watching HA After Dark. And what can I tell you? I mean, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Strzok, Page, Comey, McCabe. Then there's the guy Ribicki, whatever, he left. 5 other FBI agents, that's 10. Clapper, Brendan, that's 12. You have 12 people who are either being investigated, exposed, or fired. That's just between, that's all the 12 people in the FBI and CIA. And you already have a new NSA chief, a new CIA chief. Brandon's no longer there. A new FBI chief. You still have Sessions. Trump already has this IG. Mueller has 0 momentum. Democrats have 0 political momentum. 0. They're going to get crushed politically this November. Crushed. And breakfast tacos are important. I just want to thank you. Hello, New York. I love New York. We've reached a climax, yes. We've reached a climax of John Brennan and Hillary Clinton doing yoga poses. Think about that. That ought to give you sweet dreams. Anyway, thank you so much. Hit subscribe right now. Check out HA's Second Amendment. I have a Father's Day extravaganza and HA's Second Amendment. And I want to stay up longer, but gosh, I'm beat. Check out also the live streams. 2 epic live streams today, and I'll give you a whole bunch tomorrow as well. Thank you so much again, ladies and gentlemen. Hit subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I just want to thank you for all your support, kind words. Thank you, everybody in the super chat. And thank you again. Have a fantastic evening. I'll see you tomorrow.